Welcome to Phasmophobia, the VR Overhaul update. In today's video, I'm going to be going over all of the major changes going through with the Phasmophobia VR Overhaul update and how it can relate to you in your next horror VR experience. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I also do want to note, in case any of you are wondering for this video, for the indicators at the bottom left, I'm using the X40 haptic suit with a haptic face piece and haptic arms so I can feel the game as I'm playing it. If you want to know more information about how you can feel Phasmophobia, I will put a link to a video that I had of Phasmophobia with the haptics in the description below. First of all, loading. I'm happy to say that in the beginning, whenever you're loading into Phasmophobia, you no longer have that glitch of the Phasmophobia logo repeatedly going over and over and over again, just filling your screen with the same word. You actually have a proper loading screen that is smooth, and I actually quite like it. As far as loading into the matches themselves, VR players no longer get teleported directly into the van and have to wait on all the desktop players to be able to load from the lobby. They get the same loading screen that the desktop players do. Also, the screens on the inside of the van have been improved. Motion smoothing while walking on flat surfaces and even going up and down stairs have been added to make it easier on those that may have motion sickness, as well as make it easier to record and stream this game. The VR player will now have their walkie-talkie and their book on the front of their hip holster to make it easier to grab. And don't worry, for these items, even if you try to get rid of them, they always teleport directly to the front of your VR ring. Almost like that ex-lover you try to get rid of. Okay, moving on. I know that for me, I've had a lot of trouble with this in the past. Sometimes if the height is calibrated incorrectly in the game whenever you load into it, it's almost impossible to grab your walkie-talkie or even your book. The hand animations have been improved to be comparable with most other native VR games, so no matter if you're clicking your trigger, squeezing your grip, or just messing with your thumb, the game does mimic what your VR hand is trying to do. As far as grabbing, the grabbing accuracy and placing of items that you've grabbed onto your belt have been improved. The game will now show a small circle indicator showing which item you're about to pick up before you do. The game will also give you a small shadow outline on your hip holster when you're within range to place an item on your hip, similar to when you're placing down a dots projector. There's also a red shadow indicator that will pop up, letting you know that there's already an item on that hip holster and that you cannot place another item there. When you attempt to do so, the player will force drop the item. You can now swap items easily from one hand to the other. When you put your hands close enough together, the hand that is currently not holding an item will straighten out. Then simply grab the item in your offhand. They have also improved the throwing physics to make it more comparable and fluid with VR. There are now two different grip settings. You can either have it on toggle, which is what the game always used to have, but now you can have a hold option, which is a lot more immersive. It makes it to where you actually have to hold the grip in order to hold the item. The minute you let go, it lets go of the item. There are also now settings in the main menu in order to calibrate your height while in VR, enable seating mode for those of you that are more comfortable playing this game sitting down, and a left-handed mode for those of you that are not right-hand dominant. For those of you that like to play with snap turning, there's now a built-in default control to where whenever you turn the game to snap turning and you flick down on your turning joystick, you immediately flip to do a 180, just in case you want to see what the ghost looks like before it rips your head off. And just like how you click on the left joystick in order to sprint, there's now a built-in option for whenever you click down on the right joystick, your character crouches, for those of you that may be uncomfortable crouching while in VR. There is also now audio toggling options while in VR. It takes over one of the buttons on your controller in order to make it to where you can turn your voice on and off for other players inside the game. As somebody that streams Phasmophobia on Twitch, I think that this is an amazing option because sometimes I do need to talk to my audience, but I don't want to bug everybody inside the game. They also fixed a lot of the collision issues for VR players, allowing us to be able to phase in and out of walls. From playing Phasmophobia in VR as long as I have, I know just about every single collision issue inside the game. I did a sample by going to different maps and testing them out, and they fixed all of them as far as I saw so far. The update also did not tamper with anything on the haptic side. I'm still able to feel the ghost kill me, I can feel the weather, and of course, the sweet, sweet sanity pills. Oh, yeah, that hits the spot. In addition to placing items normally, VR players can also now rotate the item before they place it without having to rotate the wrist. One thing that I'm not able to show you that they improved because I was not able to play this beta in VR is that they improved the character walking animations for VR players in multiplayer, which is going to look great for the visual of the game, but unfortunately is going to remove a lot of funny meme content. Now, while there are some minor visual bugs that came with this update, like for instance there is no outline whenever you're placing the dots projector on the wall, and the tripod pods are teleporting whenever you're trying to grab them from the bottom shelf. These are very minor and picky visual bugs, and I even bet that they'll have them fixed by the time that you watch this video. But other than that, I really didn't notice any bugs. I think this was a very well-made update. I do believe that this update made the game better for current VR players, and even made it easier for people that don't normally play in VR to be able to play Phasmophobia in VR finally. Thank you all for watching. It's been a pleasure being able to inform you today about the VR Phasmophobia Overhaul update. If you have any questions about the Phasmophobia update, any questions about Phasmophobia in VR in general, or any questions just about VR, feel free to leave them in the comments. Links will be down in the description below for me explaining what the haptics vest is like while you're playing Phasmophobia, my secondary YouTube channel where I upload all my Phasmophobia VODs, a playlist of the rest of the Phasmophobia videos on this channel, and my live stream channel where I live stream Phasmophobia as well as other VR games. Thank you all for staying tuned, and I hope all of you have a fan-frickin-tastic day, and I'll see you next time.